The Raw after WrestleMania used to be one of the highlight episodes of Raw for many years. Returns, call-ups, and shock title changes would take place, making it one of the most anticipated episodes every single year. Sadly though, that hasn't been the case for several years, what with the Thunderdome era and no fans in attendance. However, after the highs of WrestleMania of the past 2 days, hopefully the anticipation is restored and Raw hopefully finds its mojo back. With that in mind, here are 10 wrestlers who could appear on the Raw after WrestleMania. Number 10. Asuka. One of the best female wrestlers in the world, Asuka hasn't had a match since July 2018 in the Money in the Bank ladder match. She did of course have an injury following that match, which has meant we hasn't seen her back TV since then. But if there was ever a time to return, it would be tonight on Raw after WrestleMania. Maybe Belair to a title match down the road, possibly? Let's just wait and see, hey? Number 9. Bayley. After being injured from a house show, Bayley has yet to be seen on WWE TV. The Royal Rumble would have been the perfect time, but then again, so would have been leading up to WrestleMania. However, this was not the case, and just like Asuka, we didn't get the chance to see one of the best female wrestlers appear at the show of shows, WrestleMania. What would be interesting would be which version of Bayley we will get. While I feel that bringing her old hugger gimmick would be acceptable given so long has passed, it might be that the WWE decide that they want yet another heel character and bring back the annoying Bayley heel character that so many fans despise. Number 8. Elias. From what seemed like a change in character from the guitar playing Elias, WWE showed us several cutscenes with Elias looking at a grave and telling us the old Elias is dead. Well, he hasn't been released at the time of writing, so he is still with the company. Personally, there was nothing wrong with his old gimmick, but if WWE decide to bring him back the night after WrestleMania, that would be perfect time to give us all of us an encore of Elias's greatest hits. Number 7. Stone Cold. Having stole the show over WrestleMania weekend, Stone Cold could come back, as they are still in Texas, and one final thank you might be on the cards. Smash a few beers together with the crowd, and ride off into the sunset, with Stone Cold driving away in his quad bike. Number 6. Shane McMahon. Although a SmackDown storyline, Mr. McMahon might have a few things to say to Austin Theory in this Raw show. Maybe he no longer sees Theory as his protege, and therefore, like a WWE storyline, it gets dropped and never heard from again. Or, the other possible scenario is that Theory is given an opponent at WrestleMania Backlash, but instead chooses his son Shane to face him at the event. It was reported that Shane was back with the company, having been released after his Royal Rumble shocking appearance. This would be a good way to drive the story a bit more and use those confirmed reports to make use of Shane whilst he is still there. It could only be a one and done match up until WWE decide what to do next with the storyline. Number 5. The Undertaker. The Undertaker said thank you last night. Just a simple wave of thank you while the crowd show appreciation back to him might be a good way to fill time on the show, but also to show respect to the dead man for everything he's done. Or maybe it's been too overdone already. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Number 4. The Rock. We all thought that the possibility of The Rock being at WrestleMania would top off what has been a decent WrestleMania. However, if I could just give you some fancy booking here, how about during the ceremony of Roman being given the new WWE Unified Championship belt that The Rock's music hits? Roman, thinking that The Rock will acknowledge him, would instead turn on him and rock bottom Roman, or even better, still challenge him to a WrestleMania match at next year's WrestleMania, similar to how John Cena did all those years ago. It would certainly shift more tickets and have people talking about next year's WrestleMania already. A win-win situation for everyone. Number 3, Paige. People keep asking Paige if she'll ever return, since the likes of Daniel Bryan and Edge have come back from neck injuries. This would of course be a great moment, especially since Paige has won the Divas title the next night after WrestleMania, after pinning AJ late. If, and that's a big if, she will do it, it's obviously down to Paige. If she can, then great, but if not, her legacy will continue to inspire others. Number 2, The Fiend. Unless he's being brought back with Alexa Bliss, The Fiend could make his return 1 year since his last appearance. With an apparent fallout with the main man Vince McMahon reportedly happening following his release, Bray's character was one of the most intriguing characters in a long time. An Undertaker-esque gimmick which saw The Fiend shift $7,000 belts, weird puppet merchandise, and being the top shirt merch holder during his run in The Fiend gimmick. It would be no surprise if The Fiend returned, especially since he hasn't wrestled with any other company since his departure. And number 1, Alexa Bliss. We haven't seen her since the Elimination Chamber, where she lost the match, and then poof, she was just gone. Her character seemed to be going through somewhat of an identity crisis, and we all thought that she would come back as Little Miss Bliss again, after having all the counselling sessions. But this didn't appear to be the case, and she turned up with her theme-like theme song and wasn't changed at all, which confused the WWE universe, and for some reason hasn't been seen since. Now would be a good time to bring back the Little Miss Bliss persona back to the forefront, and make her a challenging contender for Belair's title. But we're probably going to see Belair and Becky go against each other once again, as the next pay-per-view is called WrestleMania Backlash. What do you think? Who do you think will return? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Topic Talk Wrestling.